everybody. This week's Coach's Corner is featuring Burt, owner of Fahrenheit Body Spa Recovery Central. So our segment today is going to be taking you through this facility, which is amazing, and talking about all the different components that this place offers under one roof. Like, what's your motto with Fahrenheit? Like, what's the biggest thing you want people that are out there or like coming here? What are they doing?
What we're doing here is radiant health and well-being from the inside out. We believe that health starts at the cellular level. We got a lot of trick equipment in here, a lot of science behind it. I'll dumb it down, I'll make it easy, I'll make it consumable, but there's a lot of great stuff that's happening behind these walls, and let's get showing you guys.
Okay.
So come on back, and I will start showing you our different therapy rooms. He's got like 3 minutes. So the first room you're going to see here, this is our infrared sauna room. The main difference between an infrared sauna and a traditional hot rock sauna is the composition of your sweat. Hot rock saunas, they work by heating up the ambient air. You get hot, you sweat. Infrared saunas use a spectrum of light we cannot see, and these are full range, meaning we have near, mid, and far range infrared in there, and they heat you directly. The far range actually penetrates your skin about 2 to 3 inches, and so it changes the composition of your sweat, whereas in a hot rock sauna, 97% of your sweat's water, and an infrared sauna, only 80 to 85% of your sweat's water. The rest of that is fats, heavy metals, acids, so it's a more detoxifying sweat. So when you're looking at this room, what you're looking at is a powerful detoxifying treatment. You go in there for 45 minutes.
It's so relaxing.
Yeah, it is, and it has, right now you can see the light changing, that's chromotherapy. That has nothing to do with infrared. It's just a light that can affect mood. They use it on airlines, like Virgin Airlines uses it. It's a light therapy, and you can make it where it's set on one, or it's slowly cycling through different colors with this wonderful controller.
Jen, get in there. You can live in there. It's like a big little house for you. It's like a tiny little house.
Yeah.
It's a tiny house. Do you rent this for the month?
Yeah, we rent it by the hour. So, but it is a phenomenally detoxifying treatment.
This is nice.
Very relaxing. We offer guided meditations in there. You can do meditations. You can listen to music.
You're at the beach.
This is nice.
Get away from the stress of life for.
But that puts in perspective how big it is.
All right, y'all can do the rest of the tour.
Yeah, we'll be back for you. We'll leave one. That's it. We've lost one already. Awesome. Okay, that's fantastic.
Cycle back to the ozone sauna, which someone is just finishing up now. We'll continue on the tour. We obviously have showers and bathrooms so people can combine therapies. Rosary.
Hello.
But back here
Beautiful space.
is one of our massage rooms. And this massage room is very unique. As you can see, first thing that stands out is this Himalayan salt wall. This is all Himalayan salt. This comes from the foothills of Pakistan. Great for giving off negative ions, particularly if it's heated and it's warm. In the back of this room, you're also going to see a little vent. From this vent comes pharmaceutical grade salt. So we actually grind up pharmaceutical grade salt using a machine called a halo generator. Grinds up the salt and blows it into the air. You breathe that in. Very good for the lungs. Detoxifies the lungs, good for respiratory health, and then great for the skin. Our massage therapists love working in this room because they're getting the treatment as well as the client. So they love this room. And it's a great treatment. The way they found salt therapy was interesting. It was stumbled upon in Poland, where the doctors started realizing that the salt miners were healthier than the average population, whereas the opposite was true of all other miners. You know, the coal miners.
I think I'm getting the black lung, Bob.
The metal miners, stuff like that, they were worse off health-wise than the population. But the salt miners were healthier. So they started studying, started realizing that there was a ton of benefit to it. World War II came along, and then the general population started going into salt mines and caves to hide from the bombing. And then they really realized that, oh my gosh, people that have never been around it are getting health benefits and symptom relief. Then it became very popular in Western culture. So Europe kind of started the trend. Now it's in a lot of spas in the United States.
Before we leave, can I hop in and ask what makes salt pharmaceutical grade versus what we're going to get at Whole Foods or versus what's on this wall?
It's the purity of the salt. So the reason we don't grind up Himalayan salt and diffuse it into the air is because it's got other things in it. It's got some other minerals, potentially some metals, things like that are in the Himalayan salt. So awesome for digestion. You eat that, you can process it, but when you breathe something, you want the salt to completely dissolve in the lungs and leave nothing behind. And so the same type of grade of salt that would be in a saline solution like in an IV. So they use a medical grade salt that is totally pure. That way when you breathe it in, nothing else is left behind. You want absolute purity. Salt has actually gotten a bad rap due to, table salt.
Sure.
A lot of our table salt comes from China. We don't want to be using that salt. But the Himalayan salts, the sea salts, the pink salts have a lot of good health properties to them. Definitely want to get those minerals, like electrolytes, things like that, in the body. And also, we used to use salt when I raced cars professionally because the temperatures, the cars would be so hot. So you would need ways to retain water. So we do things like Pedialyte, things like that. A lot of that is basically salted. And that's what you want to have salt in your diet for sure. And if you're going to do salt therapy, you want to be breathing pharmaceutical grade salt.
Yeah, when I moved out here, coming from New Jersey, a very humid climate, coming out here to a desert climate, my hydration was a real issue for a while. I finally found water, little apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and then pink Himalayan sea salt. That's kind of the combination that I figured out actually works for me.
I've been here 8 months. You never shared that with me.
What do you think was in my blender bottle?
I'm from Minnesota. This is like your leg up on me.
Yeah.
That's nice, Parker.
You're
Nice.
better at me.
Yep.
That's how we
Good
get on
to know.
that
Great
road.
tip. Great tip.
I need an edge wherever I
Yep,
can get.
I get it. I understand.
We now
Okay, well that room's amazing. I love that room.
I thought it was just a massage room.
We're going to talk about inflammation. Inflammation is obviously something you don't want in the body, and it definitely impedes recovery. So this is cryotherapy. This one is done in this little cabin. You stand on this platform. We can set the lift to the height of the user. So for those of us that are super tall, the lift goes down. For those of us that are short, the lift goes up. Your head is out, so your head is here, your body's here. We then use liquid nitrogen to create a fog that swirls around the body. The temperature, I tend to like to cryo right around negative 255.
Whoa.
Temperature's very cold. But here, the way it's working is it's not just meaning to address the spot that's like, say you've injured your elbow. It's not about making just the elbow cold. It's about lowering the overall surface temperature of your skin rapidly. The body, when that happens, realizes, uh-oh, this is not sustainable. Like, danger, danger, we've got trouble, we cannot sustain this.
That's how my body talks.
So, exactly.
Danger.
So it stops prioritizing hands, feet, legs, and it starts rushing the blood to the core of the body. The blood then over-oxygenates. It's trying to protect your vital organs. In that process, at the cellular level, extremely good for reducing inflammation. This therapy was originally designed in Japan to treat rheumatoid arthritis. Okay. So it's basically, what I look at this is, it's almost like a painkiller. And then it also, if you reduce the inflammation, you can recover quicker. That's why it's so popular in pro sports right now. U.S. Olympic team brought one of these down to Brazil. You see LeBron James has one in his house. The Denver Broncos are huge proponents of it. And it's all about just reducing inflammation so they can recover from their games, their injuries, and their overall fitness regime quicker. We all know it. We all do hard workouts. You feel it after a hard workout. This thing definitely helps. It's a great way to recover quicker and also reduce pain. I get a lot of lower back pain. I jump in here and it's better than 4 Advil,
So
and
how
that's a
long
heck
are
of a lot
you
better for the
typically in
body. You're in here for 3 minutes. It's a 180-second session. It's all it takes. You basically just need to get the body's skin temperature cold rapidly enough to put that whole process into motion.
Very cool.
ESPN did a study. They were saying that this is about 50% more effective than your traditional ice bath. So that's,
and I'll play the devil's advocate because this is going to be on the internet, and some expert out there is going to, they're on the internet, is going to say there's no double-blind study proving that this is more effective than no recovery at all, or just using ice or doing an ice bath. Anything.
The cryo manufacturers definitely push that it is, and that there is good data behind it. But what I would say to people is, do your ice bath, do this, and do what works for you.
That's what I usually say. It's like, you know what? If somebody comes out of there and they feel better than they did when they went in, you know what? Fuck your double blind study.
Yeah.
It's like, if you feel better afterwards, that's kind of my science behind it.
Exactly. I don't know what the science is behind compression therapy, But I know after a big hike or a big run, if I put those bags on my leg, they feel better. They feel significantly better. I've had the comment, we had a guy who had back injury. He hopped in here, he hopped out, he's like, oh my God, it's like you just gave me a shot of morphine. And so it's like, those are the types of things where if it's working, I can't say that it's perfectly way more effective than an ice bath. It's the same concept. It's lowering the inflammation. We think it's a lot more pleasant to spend 3 minutes in here than 20 to 30 minutes in an ice bath.
That was the awesome part of it. I mean, let's be real, to do an ice bath correctly, I mean, you need to submerge yourself hip down and sit there screaming like a banshee for 15 minutes until
You gotta
you're
go pick up a couple bags of ice at the grocery store and then fill a tub. And this thing it's dry, and that's another nice thing is it's completely dry.
Oh, that's nice.
So the fog is dry, and you get out and you do feel better. So I'm a huge believer in it. I think that the professional athletes are showing it. There's a reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers have one of these. There's a reason why the pitchers of the Texas Rangers use these. There's a reason why LeBron put one in his house. If it didn't work, you won't be seeing that.
Right.
Cool.
All right.
Do one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Let me get this thing fired up.
Did you wear your Speedo?
How'd you know? Did you see me changing before?
You're gonna open up with it.
So we have a few minutes while this pre-cools. I'll show you the float real quick.
Do you have 2 cryotherapy rooms?
We have 2 changing rooms because it's only a 3-minute session. That way you can get people in and out quicker.
Gotcha.
Smart. All right. Come on in here. So this here is our float therapy, also commonly referred to as sensory deprivation therapy. Basically what this is a pod that has 10 inches of water, but in that water there's over 600 pounds of Epsom salt. So with the 600 pounds of Epsom salt, it changes your buoyancy. You float up on top of the water, and the water is set to skin temperature. So my experience is after about 10 to 15 minutes, I almost stop feeling the water as water, and I just feel like I'm kind of like floating on gel. It's very unique in that. Obviously the 600 pounds of Epsom salt is really good for aches and pains in the body. I mean, people put a cup of Epsom salt in their bath, or 2 cups, 600 pounds in here. So it's significant for aches and pains. But the real thing about this is what I believe in that it's good for is brain health. It basically has the same benefits as deep levels of meditation. After about 20 minutes in this pod, in true darkness, if you do close the lid and turn off the light, you truly deprive yourself of the senses, your brain can go into theta wave state. That's kind of that wave state where if you've fallen asleep or you're about to fall asleep or you're dreaming and you're kind of semi-conscious, that's kind of where your brain's at. Really good for repairing, really good for sleep cycles. There's a lot of people that believe that this is great for PTSD, things like that. So we definitely have some veterans that come in and take advantage of the float. There's just a good overall brain health situation here because you can truly quiet the mind, take away the senses. We all know that deep levels of meditation is very healing for the body, the mind, the soul. This is kind of like a shortcut to get that benefit if you haven't developed the practice. If you have developed a meditative practice, getting in here is like a great way to really enhance it. We do have a doctor here in the Valley that sends us head trauma patients, concussions, things like that, just because it gives the brain a chance to be quiet and do the healing. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they get concussed, they get a lot of light shined in their eyes, they get woken up. You got to do it because you obviously don't want to have the person's brain be bleeding or swelling or something like that. But it's really bad in terms of not giving the brain a chance to quiet down and recover. This is a great way to provide that.
This one.
You do.
You do,
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I did this an hour and a half ago.
You float in
nice.
here for about 75 minutes. You shower,
75 minutes?
yeah, you shower before and after. Some people have requested overnight floats. So,
Really?
some of the more dedicated floaters are definitely pushing 90 minutes, 2 hours. Our standard session time is 75, where it gives you enough time, but it doesn't seem overwhelming. For the person that's got a brain that never stops, that's thinking about this, they can get in here and like 30 minutes, they're kind of getting antsy.
That would be me.
Yeah, I know. I was like, yep, you're speaking to 2 of those people.
Yes.
I'm kind of like that too, but this thing really helps you kind of eliminate that.
I agree.
And
Wow.
even the first time I did it, I got out of there and I checked my phone. I was like, I must have been in there for 3 hours.
Yeah,
But it was a
really?
standard 60-minute float. Or it might have been 75,
Yeah.
but still felt way longer
just because
And there's panic buttons in those things for people.
Yes,
who are
right,
uncomfortable.
exactly.
I'm serious, these are valid questions.
Yeah, you can see the black button controls the lid, and you can set the lid at any height. Because we have some claustrophobic people that take one look at this and they're like, "You're not putting me in there."
I can't imagine closing the lid. I'd be like,
oh yeah, you close.
everybody's gonna know I'm in here?
And then you turn out. Ideally, you turn out the
Okay,
light.
buttons on that
There's a
side.
panic button on this side.
Where's that one?
And then it's a red button, and it can alerts us at the front. You can also play music through this, which is fine, but I mean, I really believe in going for the full sensory deprivation. I also feel like when you have music, your brain, it's easier to attach to time. You know, you can, as you hear the music playing, it's like, okay, I know this, like it's attached to time. If there is no music, my experience is that time becomes a much harder variable to kind of hold on to. It kind of just like, you don't know. It's like I've had floats where it's ended, a 90-minute float has ended in what felt like 30 minutes, but I've also had floats like Parker where a 75-minute float has felt like 2 hours. So it's really interesting because your experience of time while you float.
And isn't the float just worth the shower as well?
Yeah, and you do shower
I mean,
before
that's
and
quite
after.
a great shower. Beautiful.
Because you
Way to not cut any corners.
You do have a salty mess going on. When you get out, if that water dries, you will be crusted with salt. There's so much salt in there.
Wow.
It does have a UV filtration system. We also use a food grade hydrogen peroxide for the sanitation of it, so we didn't believe in putting chlorine. We didn't want to have this great spa that's all about health and then have people come float in chemicals.
Right.
So definitely we were very conscious about what we selected and why we selected it. So I'll turn this off and then close the lid. Go check on our cryo for Parker here. So what Parker's going to do now in this changing room is you'll take off all your clothes. You're going to leave your boxers on if you don't have any. We have some for you.
Only if it's a Speedo.
You definitely want to put socks on. You don't need to come up to the knee, but you want to cover the ankle. And then there's a privacy robe right here that you'll throw that on, and then we'll meet you on the other side.
Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Hey guys, Coach D, never stops running. Coach Parker here. We just want to thank you for watching the video. If you want to check out some of our other videos, we're going to put a link right here to another one of our playlists. You can check them out. And if you want to be notified when we post a new video, make sure you subscribe. I'll put a link to that right here. And also make sure you click the bell button. That'll actually notify you since the subscribe button doesn't do anything anymore. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.